Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. We are Jalapeno Children's Fund here, and tonight we're going to proceed with our multi-level sealed league. Last night we made our deck, and we played all of the first leg, so the first three matches. We went 1 and 2. We lost a couple times to some lucky Bane fires from our opponent. Just hit us right in the face for a whole mess of damage. So we're going to take a quick look at our deck here. Alright, so this is what we put together. We got a couple white cards. We got the Take Vengeance for a little bit of removal, 2 Coursers to give our creatures flying, Gallant Cavalry just to gum up the board a little bit, then an Angel of Dawn so we can get in some big swings with our creatures. Our secondary color is Diregraph Ghoul for some early aggressive plays. Skymarch Bloodletter for flying. Isareth the Awakener so we can get creatures back from our graveyard. Which is really good, especially if we get back something like Angel of the Dawn, just things that have really good enter the battlefield abilities like Gallant Cavalry. If we bring back the Cavalry, we also get the token that comes with it. We also have a Gravedigger to get things back from the graveyard, Skeleton Archer to ping things for 1, and Lick's Caress and Strangling Spores as just some spot removal. Strangling Spores we also have used as sort of a combat trick to help our creatures get through some damage on the ground. In red, we have, red's our main color here. We got a Shock, early removal. We can also just go 2 to the face if we have to. Act of Treason to steal their character, and then we can sacrifice their character with our Brawl Bash Ogre. We can also use it to attack, and then we can take Vengeance it if it's something like they're really not going to attack with. We have a couple Electrify, just 4 damage to any creature, good removal. Inferno Hellion is really good with Pegasus Courser. You just give it flying and it gets in there for 7 damage. We have the Siegebreaker Giant, so we can get in there for some unblockable damage. Sparktongue Dragon is just a big guy. Goes well with our Dragon Egg, and the reason we're playing these 2 dragons, aside from just being solid cards, is because we have this guy here, Sarkhan Fireblood, who is +1 rummages, which means we discard a card. If we do that, we draw a card. He adds mana for us if we want to cast one of our dragon spells, and his ultimate, which we actually did get to ultimate in last game, and our opponent immediately scooped. He creates 4 5/5 red dragon creature tokens with flying. So basically he can create lethal on the board by himself just from his ultimate. And we are going to move this over. Here we go. So there's the deck with all the cards I just mentioned in it. And we're going to hit the play button here. And yes, we'll begin our first match of the second stage. Thank you everybody for tuning in, and all those watching this at a later date on YouTube. I appreciate all the attention I can get. We won the die roll, so we would like to go first. This hand has 0 lands, so I think we're probably going to mulligan this one. We do have a lot of gas in it though, which, you know, tends to happen when you have 0 lands in your hand. This hand's fine. We can play our Pegasus Courser into Archer into Giant, so we have 3, 4, 5 drops. And yeah, we're going to keep this. I think we actually want to keep Electrify on top. And we'll lead off with our planes. Our opponent matches our plane. Novice Knights. It's just a 2/3 with Defender, so nothing that we really have to worry about right now. It can't attack. It can attack as if he puts an enchantment on it. So our opponent is probably some sort of enchantment deck. So that's definitely something to keep an eye out for. It's good we have this Electrify. We can 2-for-1 him if he tries to put tries to put an enchantment on a creature and we kill it before the enchantment goes on, the enchantment goes to the graveyard. Alright, he can also equip the Novice Knight with the Marauder's Axe. So our opponent seems to be on an equipment deck. So we'll play our Courser out now. And then on his turn, I have a feeling he's just going to equip the Marauder's Axe here. In which case, on our turn, we can electrify it. So he's gonna equip here and hit us for 4, I believe. Yep. Yep. He's gonna get in for 4 damage here. Not much we can do about that. We're not gonna block with our Pegasus Courser. Alright. He doesn't have another creature. So we're going to set him back tempo-wise a little bit. First thing we're going to do is attack here. And we're going to wait to electrify on his turn. We're going to give him more opportunities to like maybe put an aura on his Novice Knight. We're going to make him think that we don't have anything. And hope that he plays more stuff out. And then we can just electrify the Knight. Electrify the Knight. Sounds like a nice like 80s rock song or something. Although in this case it's Knight with a K. Alright, so he's going to combat first. We have no blockers, so we're just going to go ahead and kill this now. If he has some sort of pump spell, he does not. Alright. Plays out a Child of Night, that's fine. We can kill that with our Skeleton Archer. So we'll kill the Child of Night. This is why Child of Night and Highland Game are sort of not particularly good in Sealed, because you do find a lot of Skeleton Archers, because, I mean, all the cards I just mentioned are commons. So you'll come up against Skeleton Archers pretty frequently, and black is one of the better colors in this set, so you'll definitely run into the Skeleton Archers a lot, and 1 toughness creatures is generally not where you want to be. So our opponent finds his 4th land. Next turn, if we draw a land, we're just going to play our Siegebreaker Giant if it's a mountain. If not, we'll play Bloodletter. Suspicious Bookcase, there it is. Double Suspicious Bookcase. I think we might be playing against Aaron right now, Mr. Derailed, who's a good buddy of mine. Actually, we'll leave up the red. We'll play the Bloodletter here. You see that, man? Double Bookcase. This guy's got so many books, he doesn't know what to do with them. He's got a damn library over there. Alright, so we'll go to combat. We'll give our Archer flying. Imagine if Bookcase had reach. It would be just an incredible creature, but alas, it does not. So we're just going to try and beat him down with our flyers here. If he plays a big creature, we can Active Treason it. It's your dream deck, just the mono artifact decks. He plays a swamp. Yeah, dude. His deck seems really sweet. I think what his goal is to just make 1 creature really huge and make it unblockable. Which is great for us. I mean, he can make a creature really huge if he wants. We'll just Active Treason it. Best thing he could play on this turn is probably a Bone Dragon. Luminous Bombs on our Archer. Sure. And nothing else. Not even equip the axe to a bookcase. There he goes. Dude, his bookcase has an axe. How is the bookcase holding that axe? Is it just on one of the shelves? This is incredible. This guy's a meme master, dude. Alright, so we're hitting him for 3 here. The meme dream. And we do actually have the combo here for the Brawl Bash Ogre and the Act of Treason. So we're going to play out the Ogre here. It's a shelf equip. Yeah, man. It's like some people put ships and bottles on their shelves. Some people put pictures. This bookcase just puts axes on it. It's as simple as that. Poison Tip Archer. Cool. Nice, and he equips the axe over there. So I think what we want to do here is just Act of Treason targeting the Act of Treason targeting the archer. And then what we'll do is we will attack with all creatures. And we're going to give our archer flying. Oh, I meant to hit yes there, but... So we have lethal on board, so he has to block the archer with one of his bookcases. It's an illegal block, so 4, 5, 6, 7. He'll be at 3. And this doesn't have lifelink or anything, it just has death touch and reach. Okay. So he can hit us for 4 here. Otherwise, we just play Angel of Dawn, and we have more than enough creatures to kill him with more than enough damage on board with the Angel of Dawn. Ideally, I would have liked to sacrifice the Poison Tip Archer there. Yeah, I should have sacrificed that. He would have 4 more health, but he'd have 2 less creatures. And I guess it doesn't really matter in the end because he saw the writing on the wall. I think we're just going to go with this. He didn't really show us anything. There's nothing in red. We don't have any smelts. Smelt might be one good card that we could bring in, but we didn't pull any. And we're not playing green, so it's not like we can naturalize or anything. Alright, and here we have Izareth, Strangling Spores, and Gravedigger. So this hand's good. We're going to keep this one. Forest, so no turn 1 Knight this game. Electrify, that's a great card. Great draw for us. Not only does Izareth have like a ridiculous ability, it's also just a 3/3 death touch for 3. That's insane. We're going to play a mountain here and pass. And then next turn we're going to go swamp and play the swamp and play the Izareth and get in some damage that way. Daggerback Basilisk, sure. Second, Electrify, nice. Play out our Izareth. If he wants to attack with the Basilisk, we just take it, and then we hit him back for 3. Otherwise, I mean, next turn, I think probably what we'll do is we'll attack into the Basilisk, and then we'll Gravedigger to get back the Izareth. And then if Gravedigger dies, we can get it back with Isareth on the attack, and these two pretty much loop each other. Alright, so he's not attacking. Skeleton Archer. Cool, so he's gonna ping us for 1. And I think what we're gonna want to do here is attack with the Isareth. And he'll probably block with the Basilisk, yep. Alright, and those will trade, and then in our second main phase we're going to play out the Gravedigger. And we're going to get back to Isareth and just play it next turn. Excuse me. Yes, I would like to use Gravedigger's ability, considering that's the only reason to play him. I don't think a 2/2 for 4 mana is going to get you anywhere. So we're out-tempoing him pretty hard. We have our 5th land here. We can always just like electrify or strangling spores the archer if he decides to tries to do something fancy like equip it with an axe. He's most likely just going to attack here. That's fine. No blocks. What's he got? A Vine Mare. Alright. Okay. Let's caress. Great. Vine Mare is a definite problem for our deck. Our Isareth is, of course, a black creature. So in order for... And Vine Mare has hexproof. So in order for us to kill the Vine Mare, we have to make it so he has to block the Vine Mare with, or block the Isareth with the Vine Mare, because it can't be blocked by black creatures. So if he has some sort of pump spell for this Vine Mare, it might be bad for us. Poison Tip Archer, that's fine. One thing we can do is hexproof only applies to the opponent. So what we can do is maybe active treason the Vine Mare and then attack with it and take vengeance. That is a possibility. Here we're going to play out the Diregraph Ghoul. And we're going to, we're just going to electrify the archer. And I think we leave our creatures back this turn. We can block here. Problem is we can't even chump block with these black creatures on the Vine Mare. Sky Scanner, that's fine. Vine Mare is a problem. I think we actually have a detection tower in our sideboard though. it might be worth bringing that in, because all this removal right here would just... Alright, so that's lethal right there. Gallant Cavalry is one way to kill the Vine Mare. Detection Tower. Adds a colorless until end of turn. Your opponents and creatures your opponents control with hexproof can be targets of spells and abilities you control as though they didn't have hexproof. So our rare land is actually going to come in. And I think what we want to do is take out the Manolith for that. So we'll go upland and we'll take out the Manolith. Just because we want to be able to kill his Vine Mare. Which is pretty nasty against our deck. All of our removal is targeted, so... this hand I'm not in love with. We are on the play. If we get a mountain, it'll be good. If we get 2 mountains, it's great. I think we have to keep this. So game 1 went really well for us. Game 2 was going fine, and then it sort of went off the rails when he played the Vine Mare. So hopefully this game he is more like the first one as opposed to the second one. Duress. Alright, so he's probably going to take our Strangling Spores, because we can't cast any of these red spells, and we can conceivably cast the Strangling Spores if we draw one more land. And that's what he does, he takes the Strangling Spores. There's another swamp for us. It's not what we're looking for. We need a mountain pretty badly. Luckily he's not put up any sort of aggressive start. Diregraph Ghoul is good. At least now we have a creature out. Alright, he's got a Basilisk, which we will happily trade for our Diregraph Ghoul. Gallant Cavalry. So now any land we draw, the worst draw on our deck is Basic Swamp. The best card in our deck is probably a tie between Basic Mountain and Basic Plains. Any non-black land we're happy with. No attacks. This is the... Alright, so he has a giant spider. Plains. That's fine. Play out our Gallant Cavalry. And now we can block everything that he has on board. And once we draw a red, we'll have the Dragon Egg and the Electrify. So we can electrify if he plays a big creature here. He doesn't have double green, so he can't play a Vine Mare even if he has it, so that's not a concern that we have yet. And he's down to 4 cards, so if he did have a basic forest, he would have played it already. Reassembling Skeleton, so he's just got a 1/1. There's the mountain. Great. That's exactly what we're looking for. We'll electrify the giant spider. We'll go to attacks, and we will attack with all of our creatures. So we can trade his Basilisk for one of our creatures, and he'll probably trade it for, yeah, he'll chump block there. Okay. So he's just taking 4 damage. At the end of his turn, he'll probably get back the skeleton from the graveyard. That skeleton will be annoying for us, but... Alright, plays another swamp. Basically, we don't want him to get basic forest, because if he's got the Vine Mare, he needs 2 green to play it. Doom Dissenter, sure. Alright, Sky March Bloodletter is good. So we can double spell here, which I think is what we're going to do. We're going to play the Dragon Egg. So now he can't attack with the Daggerback Basilisk. Go to combat here, and I think we'll just attack with everything again. He can double block here. He'll get a 2-2 and then get this back at the end of his turn, which is fine with us because we're going to have the Bloodletter. We just want to run him out of resources, basically. And I'm fine trading this. Okay, so he's just going to chump block with both, as opposed to killing either of our creatures. Very interesting. And he's going to play a skeleton back from his graveyard. The Doom Dissenter token's going to come in. And then we play the Bloodletter here. And at this point we have blockers for his Vine Mare, so even if he plays it, and he won't be able to equip it with anything immediately. So I like our position in this game. Things that we can draw that would be good would be like a Lix Caress, just in case he has something like a Colossal Dreadmaw. And he can't really attack us with his creatures because we do have the Dragon Egg out. We'll just get a flying dragon from him killing that. Alright, so he's returning the Giant Spider and the Macabre Waltz from his graveyard. He'll probably play the Giant Spider out again, which is what he does. So we know his hand is Doom Dissenter and an unknown card, possibly Vine Mare. Play the Brawl Bash Ogre. Brawl Bash Ogre is really good here. We can sacrifice our Dragon Egg and give it +2/+2. So now our draws that are really strong are going to be Active Treason. So we can Active Treason something like the Giant Spider. Open the Graves. Alright, so he's got sort of a combo going on. No attacks. Now we're going to play out our Siegebreaker Giants. And I don't think we want to attack here. I think next turn we want to make it so his Basilisk can't block, and then we'll attack with the Siegebreaker and kill at least 2 of his creatures. Doom Dissenter, that's fine. So he's got sort of a combo here with the Open the Graves and the Reassembling Skeleton. Chaos Wand. Okay, so now he's going to be casting spells from us. Plains is fine, because now we can do this. We'll make it so that can't block. And we'll also make it so his Basilisk can't block. And then what we want to do is just attack with our whole squad, I think. And that might be lethal right there. Because we're going to sack the Dragon Egg to the Brawl Bash Ogre and give it Menace. Sack the Dragon Egg. So this is 6, 11, 13, 15, 17. 11, 13, 15, 17, 19 actually. And he has 3 blockers, and this has Menace. So I think it's possible for him to block and find a way out of this. So 3, 8, 10, 14, 16. Yeah. And I think his best block is there. And then, so he's going to take 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So he'll be at 1. The issue is we can just do the same thing next turn with the Siegebreaker Giant. We can just make it so his creatures can't block. The only thing I'm worried about is him hitting something ridiculous off of the Chaos Wand. So something like a Lix Caress would be bad for us because it means that he would just Lix Caress our Siegebreaker Giant. And he's going to get 3 2/2s here. But if he does want to Chaos Wand, that would be essentially his entire turn. Plus we have 2 flyers now, and he only has 1 creature with reach. Yeah, so he's going to Chaos Wand us, and he finds a Shock. Shock isn't really going to help him that much. That was one of the worst cards in our deck that he could find, and he decides to shock himself. Nope. He shocks our Dragon token, so now we only have 1 flyer. But we can still make it so the Giant Spider can't block and just attack him in the air, and our opponent concedes. And we were drawing Angel of the Dawn anyway. So that was pretty good for us. So we're 1-0 so far in this stage. What our goal is at least 2 wins per stage. Obviously 3 wins in the stage is what we want, but 2 wins per stage is acceptable. If you do that consistently, you can make all of your entrance fee back, plus about 50 play points. Yes, we would like to play first. Our opponent has a Sarkhan as his profile picture, which is comical because we have Sarkhan in our hand. This hand is incredible. This is one of the best hands we could get, so we'll definitely keep this. We have early plays. We have things to do with our mana. We have Sarkhan. So we're going to lead off with the Diregraph Ghoul. And our opponent has no turn 1 play. Next we're going to play our Mountain. Hit him for 2, and then pass the turn. Next turn, if we draw a Mountain, we have Sarkhan. If we draw anything else, we have Izareth. Reassembling Skeleton, that's fine. We might be playing against another Open the Graves deck. Tap Diregraph Ghoul. It's not going to block. And then we'll play out our Izareth. Next turn we have Brawl Bash Ogre. And Brawl Bash Ogre and Izareth have some synergies. You can sack something to Brawl Bash Ogre and then get it back with Izareth. Sky Scanner, that's fine. So that's his whole turn, basically. He might have been looking for a 4th land there, And he is, so he's stuck on 3 lands. Shock is great for us. Dingo. Quiet. Sorry, that's my dog barking in the background. So I think what we do here is we just go to combat. If he wants to like double block our Diregraph Ghoul, we'll just shock the Sky Scanner. And make sure our Diregraph Ghoul lives. He does not want to do that. Alright, so we'll just play out our Ogre now. And next turn we have Electrify, or we have Shock. If he plays a smaller creature. Alright, so he finds his 4th land there. Marauder's Axe. Sure. So he can equip the Sky Scanner with it and get in for 3 damage. He equips the skeleton, actually. And no attacks. So he's obviously setting up a block. So what we're going to do is we're just going to swing with everybody. And whatever he blocks with the reassembling skeleton, we're going to... we're just going to shock the skeleton. So if he's smart, he'll block the Isareth, because it represents the most damage. He's going to double block. Oh man, this is going to be a blowout for him. Shock that guy. And his Sky Scanner will also die. He'll be at 3. Six, I mean. We have more than lethal on board. If he plays 1 creature, we can just electrify it and then attack him. We won't even show him the Sark in this game. And he has no plays. It's possible that he tries to flash in like a Hired Blade, but we'll just kill it before blocks. No, I don't want to use Brawlbash Ogre's ability. And he is electrifying that. That's fine. So we'll pay... Actually... Yeah, we'll just pay 4 and get it back. And our opponent concedes because he realizes that we can just get the Brawlbash Ogre back with the Isareth. Our opponent didn't really play anything that game. Looks like he is also playing some sort of artifact deck. Reassembling Skeleton isn't really a threat. It's nothing I'm really concerned about playing against. Not that I have anything to like get rid of graveyards anyway, but so what we know, that game he played the Reassembling Skeleton, an Axe, and a Sky Scanner, and that was all he did. He had an Electrify, but nothing we can do against the Electrify. We're not a deck that has any counter magic or anything, so we're just gonna run it back and hope to have similar results this game. Not sure I agree with his play of double blocking the Ogre there. I think I would have tried to block the Isareth with the 3/1. That way, if like my opponent had a removal spell, I wouldn't get blown out like that guy did. And Brawlbash Ogre is not... I mean, it is a threat, but it's not as big of a threat as Isareth, which can just get things back. So let's say I didn't have a removal spell, I kill both of his creatures, and I just get the Brawlbash Ogre back on the field with Isareth the next turn. So at best, he's delaying the Ogre from hitting him by a turn, and in order to do that, he's sacrificing both of his creatures. Alright. Our opponent has decided to play first. This hand's very good. It has all of our colors of mana. We have 3, 4, and 5 play. So we're going to keep this. He also keeps 7. We'll see if he has anything on turn 1. Does not look like he does. Shock is nice. So we're going to play a mountain. And we will potentially shock whatever he plays. If it's an actual creature, if it's just like a reassembling skeleton or something he can get back, we're not going to worry about it. Inferno Hellion is also great. Play out the plains. At some point we want to draw a second red for the Siegebreaker Giant, but that we can wait on. Ravenous Harpy, that is going to get shocked. We don't want that thing growing out of control. Swamp, so we'll play out the Dragon Egg and dissuade him from any attacks. Skeleton Archer, sure. So he's probably going to hit me for 1. There would be no point in hitting our Dragon Egg for 1. So that's his whole turn to just deal 1 damage to us, because now we're going to play the Gallant Cavalry. And next turn what we want to draw is another mountain to just play our Siegebreaker Giant and keep the pressure on him. He can't attack here because we'll just block with the Dragon Egg and get a free flyer. Also, if he attacks, we can take Vengeance it. Marauder's Axe. Interesting play. So he's equipping. Okay. No attacks. I thought not. Pegasus Courser is a pretty good draw as well. So we'll just play the Courser out. And we don't want to attack and do his Skeleton Archer. We just want to leave our stuff back on defense. Death Baron. Alright, so his Skeleton Archer is now a 6/4 with Death Touch. He's attacking us with that. Okay, so we'll block this. We'll get the dragon, and next turn we will we'll take Vengeance. The skeleton, and we'll also play out the Inferno Hellion. We'll give our cavalry flying. And this game's going pretty well for us. He's actually trading. Okay. That's an interesting trade. I guess he just wants to slow us down. 2, 3, 10, 12, and we can pump this twice. So if we draw a mountain, we actually have lethal this turn, and we do no longer. Sure, you can equip the axe there. Mountain. Alright, so if he didn't play that Doom Descender, we would have lethal here. As it is, we're 1 off. No, our opponent just concedes, he realizes. So we can pump this 3 times, we can make that 5 damage, and then we'll have 7 plus 5 is 12, plus 1 is 13, and then I'll have to block the cavalry with the Doom Descender. Alright, so we won that match pretty easily. That was a 2-0 victory. So we're up to 3-2 in this Sealed League, so that's always good. Let's see if we can go in 3-0 in this leg, and that'll make up for our 1-2 in the last leg, the first leg that we played. We would like to play without adding a booster. Thank you everybody for joining me here on Twitch and also for watching me on YouTube. I'd like to shout out my friend Aaron and my friend James and Wes and their awesome podcast called Derailed. They're a partner of mine. We would like to play first again. Their podcast, they discuss movies and video games and just general news of the world, and they're very entertaining. I would definitely recommending them out, or recommend trying them out. We're going to keep this. We have Skeleton Archer on 4. All of our things we can play on 4, and we have mana to cast most of them, so. Alright, I would have preferred something like a, planes there so we can cast our cavalry. I think of the cards in our hand, cavalry is the strongest among them on an empty board. If he plays something with 1 toughness here, obviously we'll just Skeleton Archer. So like if he goes land Child of Night. Good luck, our opponent says. Good luck to you as well. Centaur Courser. Okay, so this is where a plains would come in handy because Gallant Cavalry lines up pretty well. Yeah, I think what we're gonna do here is we're just gonna Manolith. That way, if he attacks with the Courser next turn, we can take Vengeance and Skeleton Archer. Develop our mana a little bit. Naturalize. Alright. So he just immediately kills our thing. Talons of Wildwood. So what we want to do is draw plains here and take Vengeance, that Courser. That would be the best thing we could do. Lick's Caress also works. We're going to go ahead and kill this now. Alright, so we know he has at least 1 Naturalize. It's unfortunate that he had it when we played our Manolith, but alright, so that is going to get shot down by our Skeleton Archer this turn. Dragon Egg. Yeah, we're still just going to play out the Skeleton Archer and shoot down the Sky Scanner. And next turn we can play the Dragon Egg, and if we draw a plains, we can consider playing the Gallant Cavalry. Vine Mare, okay. So definitely we're in Gallant Cavalry territory. Nice. First we're going to attack. We're going to see if he wants to block here. He probably correctly chooses not to block. Cavalry. Pass. So what he can do is he can get back the Talons of Wildwood for 3, and then he can equip it onto the Vine Mare. Okay, open the Graves again, which is interesting. People really seem to like that card for some reason. Another mountain, that's fine. So what we can do here is play out the Dragon Egg. Oh. Play out the Dragon Egg. This disincentivizes him from attacking. And now we can hit in with the Skeleton Archer. He's probably not going to block with the Vine Mare. And we'll pass. And if he wants to attack with the Vine Mare, we can double block with the Cavalry and the Knight, even if he does put the Talons of Wildwood on it. So he's got the 3/4 vampire. That's pretty good. We can always take vengeance. That does not have hexproof. Pegasus Courser seems pretty good here. We have to just pass the turn. Draws another forest. Rogue's Gloves. Alright, so he's equipping there. I think we'll let him draw a card off the Rogue's Gloves. I don't think we want to block with our Pegasus Courser. So he draws a card off that. He has no other play, so we're going to take Vengeance. The thing with the Rogue Gloves. He will go to 2/2. That's fine. And we'll hit him for 4 with our Courser and our Skeleton. Give our Skeleton flying, because we're not going to be blocking the Vine Mare with the Skeleton anyway, mostly because we don't have the ability to. But we do have the Double Cavalry and the Grave Digger. Palaka Worm. That's a big guy. Alright, so we'll gain 7 life. All that good stuff. And it does have Trample. Electrify. Alright, so we're just going to pass here. We can trade the Archer for the Palaka Worm plus Electrify. He will get a 2/2 out of it, but I think that's okay. Put the Rogue Gloves on there. Block. Those will trade. He will draw a card because he dealt damage with the Palaka Worm. And he'll actually draw 2 cards because when Palaka Worm dies you get a card. So he'll be at 6 cards. And he does get a 2/2. So he's just got a deck that seems to generate a lot of value. Dreadmaw is another good card. So he's got a lot of big green creatures. Here we're going to play the Gravedigger and get back the Skeleton Archer. And we're going to start attacking in the air. And we will play out our Skeleton Archer. And we're just going to ping him for 1. So we're out of cards, and he has 4 cards, and he's about to draw 1 more. So essentially 5 cards. Draws a land. Diamond Mare. That'll gain him some life. He's probably going to name green, I would think. Yeah, chooses green. And Talons of Wildwood back from his graveyard. And he's probably going to equip the Vine Mare. Nope, he's equipping the zombie. That's fine. And he's equipping the Rogue Gloves there. So he just used a lot of mana to make this zombie big. And We're just going to block with the Skeleton Archer. Draw is Spark Tongue. That's really good. We can kill his Diamond Mare. Unfortunately, we can't kill the Vine Mare because it still does have hexproof. And yes, we will pay 3 for his ability, and we will kill the Diamond Mare, prevent him from gaining any more life. He will get a 2/2 out of it, but that's fine. And we'll send our Vigilant token at him in the air, so he'll be at 14. Rogue Gloves on the Dreadmaw. That's fine. Get back the Talons. This one's going to be close. That Palaka Worm was really good for him. He'd be at 7 health right now if he didn't have it. He'd also be down 1 more card. And we have more than 7 damage in the air. We have 3. Eventually we'll be able to block with this. Lick's Caress on our Spark Tongue. That's fine. If he attacks with the Dreadmaw, we just put our Dragon Egg in front of it and soak up 2 damage and go to 5, but we do get the flyer out of it. Oh, he's attacking with just the Vine Mare? Okay. We will definitely double block that. It'll be nice to have that out of the way. That attack confuses me. Mountain, not exactly what we want. I'm just going to pass here. We need to find some sort of removal spell for that Colossal Dreadmaw. This is where a spell like Banefire would come in handy. There are a lot of places where a spell like Banefire would come in handy, but this is definitely one of them. So he's attacking with everything. So we trade here. Block and block there, and we take 7 and go to 2. And we keep our flyer and the courser. We keep our dragon. So our dragon can trade with the Dreadmaw. Unfortunately, now that we're at 2, we would also die from that Plague Mare. Alright, so our courser's gonna die here. Not sure what we have in our deck that gets us out of this. Swamp is not gonna do it, so we'll concede. He got a lot of value out of his Palaka Worm. That was a real turning point in the game. He also got a lot of value out of his Rogue Gloves. Like I said before, we don't really have a way to get rid of artifacts. I'm not going to put in 1 Naturalize. I do want to put in 1 Detection Tower for 1 Manalith, because I did see the Vine Mare, and that can really get out of control, and we know he's playing enchantments. So we're just going to submit like this. Palaka Worm is a very good card, especially in Sealed. We might need to save our Lix Caress for that. Speaking of Lix Caress, there it is. So this is a good hand. It's a little bit slow. We don't have anything to play in the first few turns, but our spells are very strong. So we're going to keep this and hope to draw into something smaller. And we need at least one land to turn on a lot of the cards in our hand. So we have 1 4-drop and 3 5-drops. Good thing for us is our opponent doesn't seem like he's a very aggressive deck. So we have time to set up our board and develop our mana. Explosive Apparatus. Okay. It's a very expensive shock. Four mana shock. For the price of that, you could have an Electrify. Alright, so he's just playing out all of his artifacts now. Skeleton Archer. We really need a land. Hopefully we don't just get 3 lands and then get stuck with all big cards in our hand. Daggerback Basilisk, that's fine. I think into that we want to play the Ogre because it has Menace. Draw a card. Sarkin, not what we want. So we're just going to pass on 3 lands. And get hit for 2 here. He's going to equip the Rogue Gloves, unfortunately. I would imagine. Yep. Get a card off that. Huh. Rogue's Gloves can generate some real card advantage in Sealed. I didn't think too much of that card before when it was spoiled. The first time I looked at it, I didn't think about it twice, but it seems pretty strong here. Okay, so there's a swamp. So we'll play out our Brawl Bash Ogre. He can't kill it with the apparatus or anything, and we'll just block to prevent him from drawing a card. And then we can electrify whatever he plays. Gift of Paradise, okay. So he's ramping himself a little bit, gaining some life. Elvish Rejuvenator. So that's going to get pinged by our Skeleton Archer. And now all the cards in our hand are open with the exception of our Dragon and our Sarkin. But once one of those cards become open, so does the other one, because we can always play Sarkin and plus it to give us the mana necessary to play Spark Tongue. And he's on 2 cards. I like where we are. We have removal spells for any creatures he might play. Even if he plays a Palaka Worm, he's not going to get an attack with it because we have the Lix Caress. The scariest thing here would be maybe like a Hungering Hydra. Even that dies to Lix Caress. So there's the Dreadmaw. Equip the Rogue Gloves. That's fine. Nice. So we have 2 options here. We can attack. If he blocks, we can electrify, or we can just play an Izareth. I think I like the attack and electrify better. He doesn't block. So we get in the 3 damage and we can play the Izareth. And if he wants to attack and trade with our Izareth, he will get a card off of it, but he'll be down a Dreadmaw. Alright, looks like that is what he wants to do, so we'll just trade here. He'll get a card. Like I said, even if it's like a Palaka Worm or something, I mean, he'll gain a lot of life, but we'll just kill it with the Lix Caress. Looks like he just drew a land, which is good for us. Gallant Cavalry is great on this empty board. I would like to draw a mountain, so we can play our Sarkhan and start fixing our draws a little bit. That being said, even if we did, I'm not sure what we would plus it to do, because we couldn't play Spark Tongue on the same turn. Oh, yeah, we could. Because we can, this is 3, we would need 1 mountain, so it would be 3, 3, and then we can make 2 red for the Spark Tongue. So we would be able to do that. So yeah, a mountain is probably the best draw in our deck at this point. Yeah. He's thinking about using the apparatus to kill our cavalry or our knight. He's going to kill our token. That's fine. So now that's one less thing for us to worry about. Finds another land. And he plays the Vampire Sovereign. That's fine. We can electrify that. Rogue's Clubs. Alright. So he's down to 1 card. Gravedigger. Awesome. So now we can even get back our Izareth or our Ogre, depending on how aggressive we want to be. And we still have the Angel and the Spark Tongue. I think if he doesn't play anything here, we're just going to play the Angel and try and get in for 7 damage and put him at lethal on board. Palaka Worm, that's fine. That's what we've been holding this Lix Caress in our hand for. He will get a card when it dies, so that's kind of unfortunate, but at least he doesn't get a 7/7 as well. Skymarked Bloodletter. Lix Caress the Palaka Worm. Draws a card. Sure. We attack with both of our guys and put him to back down to 17. Palaka Worm 3 green? Yeah, 4 and 3 green. Alright, our opponent keeps drawing lands. Vine Mare, that's fine. We don't particularly care about that. We're just going to play our Angel this turn. And give our stuff Vigilance. Lix Caress on our thing. Okay, interesting. Diregraph Ghoul. So here we're just going to play the Angel. This doesn't have Trample, so we can block with our Angel and trade with it. And we also have Gravedigger, so next turn we can go Diregraph Ghoul and Gravedigger if we want. No attacks from him. Centaur Courser, that's fine. If we draw a mountain, we can Sarkhan and kill that. Actually, we can't. We can only play the Spark Tongue. I think our plan of Diregraph Ghoul and Gravedigger is what we're going to do. I think we want to get back the Skeleton Archer. And we don't want to attack, we want to keep our blockers back for the Vine Mare. So we want to be able to always have the Angel to block the Vine Mare. Rogue's Gloves, moving them onto the Courser, that's fine. Attacking there. So we can double block. He's probably going to kill our guy with Vigilance. Yep. Dreadmaw. So our opponent just keeps drawing good spells, unfortunately. We've had him down to one card for a while now. Detection Tower, that is awesome for us. We'll play the Sarkin. Play the Detection Tower. A plus. We will not discard. Not going to attack with anything. In our second main phase, we're going to play our Skymarch Bloodletter. Just get another flyer out there. Alright. So next turn we can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If we draw a land, we can block here. And I think we're going to want to triple block that. Because I feel like the cards in our hand are better than his. Hopefully he doesn't have a combat trick of some sort. He does not. Alright, so we'll see what he plays now. He has no play. And we have an Archer and a Spark Tongue. So we'll add 2 mana. Play the Spark Tongue. And we will use his ability. And we'll just deal 3 damage to our opponent. Alright, and our Sarkin is ticking up. Diamond Mare, that's fine. Name's green. Equips the Rogue Gloves. Alright, I don't think we need another swamp, so we can rummage the swamp away. Plains. I think we'll leave that in our hand. Attack with this guy. Put him to 10, unless he has like a plummet or something. And then play out our Skeleton Archer. Hit him for 1. So if he plays a big creature like a Dreadmaw or something, we'll have lethal on board with Active Treason. No attacks. Alright, looks like our opponent has finally just drawn a couple lands. Yes, we'll discard the plains, get a swamp. Didn't we just do that last turn? In reverse. Attack with both of our guys. And play out our Infernal Hellion. I tap 1 too many mana there. That's fine. This is a sorcery anyway, so. So he's got 3 cards. We're just going to go to combat here. We'll see what he has. Probably nothing. Yeah. Okay. So we'll begin sideboarding. We managed to grind our opponent out there with a really good opening hand. Even though we were stuck on 3 lands for a little while. The detection tower really actually came in handy. All the mocking I've done of this detection tower, and it actually let us deal with a Vine Mare in that game. Alright, so we'll submit like this. And if we win this game, that means we'll have gone 3-0 in this leg. Alright. Got a Take Vengeance in our opening hand. Got a Diregraph Ghoul we can cast. I think we want to keep this. Once again, our opponent starts with the Apparatus. So he can kill our Diregraph Ghoul at some point in time if he wants. Spark Tongue is fine. Plains would be nice. Hopefully we don't get stuck without a white this game. I did take out the Manalith, so this would essentially be a Manalith. I think if this was a Manalith, we would have had to mulligan it, because that would have been a 2-land opener. Another Courser, okay. It's not terrible for us, but we want to be able to actually play them, so we'll need a Plains before too long. See what our opponent does. If he just goes land, kills our Diregraph Ghoul, that's fine with us. He basically wasted a couple turns. Gift of Paradise, so he is ramping himself. He's going to have quite a bit of mana. Dragon Egg, that's fine. That's a playable 3-drop. So we'll hit him down to 19 here and play out our Dragon Egg. Next turn, our best draw is a Plains. Looks like our opponent might be stuck on 3 lands. He is. That's not a Plains. It's the opposite of a Plains. So I think here we just attack with our guy. He might blow it up with the Explosive Apparatus, which it looks like that's what he's doing. Sure. So we just pass here. Both stuck on 3 lands. It's a race to see who finds a land first. Diamond Mare, probably naming green. Chooses black. Ah. Interesting. So that means he has a good black card in his hand. There's our Plains. Here we'll play the Brawlbash Ogre. Wonder what black card he could have. Maybe like a Lix Caress. Although, maybe he has a couple black cards. He might have the Vampire Sovereign. Open the Graves. Nice. That's a good enchantment. Would be nice if we had some way to deal with that, but unfortunately we do not. Attack here with our 3/3 with Menace. Yes, I actually do want to use his ability on the Dragon's Egg. Get ourselves a flyer. And hit him for 5. And then we can play out our Pegasus Courser. Next turn we can give our guy Flying. Flying and Menace. He will not be blocked. No one can stop him. What you got? Vampire Sovereign, sure. Alright. So what we do here is we want to active treason, targeting the sovereign. And we will attack. I missed a point of damage. If I had, no wait, never mind. I had to tap a red for active treason. Yes, we would like to use his ability, and we will sack this vampire. And we'll get in for 8 damage, so it'll be at 11. We'll pass the turn. Mind Rot, so I discard 2 cards. I think I'm going to discard the Take Vengeance and the actually I think I'm going to discard the Spark Tongue and the other Courser. I think we want to keep the Take Vengeance just in case he has some sort of large creature. Mind Rot number 2. Discard the Take Vengeance and the Skeleton Archer. Keep our Inferno Hellion. Seedbreaker Giant, sure. So we'll go to combat here. It's not going to be able to block any of our creatures. No, we won't use his ability. We will go to damage. And play our Inferno Hellion. Alright, so if he has Palaka Worm, first of all, if he had Palaka Worm, he would have played it last turn, so I don't think he has it here. Blood Divination. So he draws 3 cards. Sort of a desperation play. We've done it. We've 3-0'd the 3-0'd that leg. You love that play? The play of active treasoning his guy and sacrificing it to our ogre? Yeah, that was pretty sweet. It's one of the plays I had in mind when I built this deck. Alright, so just like that, we 3-0'd. Managed to 3-0 that. And we were going to draw a mountain next so we could play our Siegebreaker. So we're now 4-2. If we look at the prizes, we went 3-0, so we got 40 play points. So if we go 2-1 now, that's 6 wins. We'll get an extra 200 play points. If we go at 3-0 again, that's 7 wins. We'll get 200 play points and a booster. And since that's the first booster we will have won on stream, I feel like I am required by law to open that booster and see what we get from it. Otherwise, if we just win 1, we get 100 play points, which is still fine. That means we will have gotten 160 in this, 180 actually, which is pretty close to, sort of close to the entrance fee. But, you know, we're not going to go 1-2. We're going to go 3-0. We're going to 3-0 this leg as well. Yeah, I too was a fan of multiple plays that leg. I think M19 Limited, I have been drastically underestimating green. It seems like every time we go up against somebody who's playing green, I'm sort of on the back foot. Green just has some really, really powerful just spells in general in this format, mostly creatures. And there's a lot of good removal, so it's sort of questionable. Like in our pool, Rabid Bite is great, Neutralize is great. Derailed Games, thank you for the host. I appreciate it. Thank you, my brother. Everybody check out Derailed Games. They've got some great content. They talk about Magic occasionally too, so if you're only into Magic and not really into anything else, you can still find something to enjoy on their channel. Alright, so we're here in stage 3. This hand of double black cards with 2 mountains I don't think is going to get us there, so we're going to mulligan. This hand's a lot better. We can cast our Izareth in this hand, so we can go turn 1 Diregaff Ghoul, turn 2 Plains. I think we want to put on the bottom. We want a mountain. So we'll go turn 1 Diregaff Ghoul. And already we're down to 4 cards, so we're going to be at sort of card disadvantage this entire match. He's got twice as many cards as us already. We'll see if our opponent has a turn 1 play. He does not, so our Ghoul is going to be getting in there for at least a couple damage. And there's the mountain that we wanted. So we're drawing pretty well. Our best draws at this point would be something like Sarkhan. No turn 2 play either. Shock, that's pretty good. So our opponent seems to be on a green-red deck, but he hasn't played anything yet, so we're not sure if he's like the Sarkhan's Unsealing type deck or what. He wasted that Lightning Strike. He's going to be very upset when I play my Izareth, because that's a much better Lightning Strike target than the Diregaff Ghoul. So he's probably realizing right now that he might should have saved that. So our opponent is on Naya colors. Pegasus Courser, that's fine. Mountain, great. Player Plains. Get in there with our Izareth. And we will get back the Diregaff Ghoul. So he essentially wasted his Lightning Strike. He killed this, he saved himself 2 damage that one turn, and then now we've just gotten the Ghoul back. Pridemate? Sure. That's just going to get killed by a shock. At the end of your turn, I will shock your Pridemate. Do you have a response? You do not. Your Pridemate is dead. Mountain. Here we will just attack with the Izareth. We have no creatures to get back. There's no point to attacking with the Diregaff Ghoul because he'll just block with the Courser and they'll bounce off of each other. Explosive Apparatus. Okay. People really like this card for some reason. I think it's just a really overexpensive shock. You can play it in any color, but it just doesn't seem that worth it to me. Like, this turn he's probably just gonna Apparatus our Ghoul and then we'll get it back with Izareth. Or our Gravedigger we just drew. So really anything he does here, I can just get back with Gravedigger. Like, if he wants to block here and Apparatus to kill this, we'll just get it back with the Gravedigger. the end of our turn, he's probably going to apparatus. Kill this. We'll get it back next turn. It will not be gone for long. Dreadmaw? Nope. Lena. Lena's pretty good. Siegebreaker Giant is also pretty good. We just want to play the Gravedigger though. Get back to Izareth. Our opponent must be pretty desperate to just play Lena on an empty board, because that's essentially 6 mana for 4/4. No attacks. So we can play Izareth here. And pass the turn. Now we have Take Vengeance to take care of any creatures they might play. If he wants to attack with Lena, we'll just take the damage and Take Vengeance it. And then attack for more on the crackback. Vivian's Invocation. Okay. Top 7 cards. So we'll see what creature they find. Bristling Boar. Sure. Kill our Izareth. Here I'm just going to play the Siegebreaker Giant. We'll start getting them for some damage. And actually we have, if we draw a land, we have lethal next turn. We can Active Treason the Bristling Boar and make it so his, wow, Palladia Moors. Okay. Hexproof, Flying Vigilant. Interesting. So I think here we just play the Dragon Egg. We attack with the Siegebreaker Giant. He can block with Lena. He can block with the Bristling Boar. That's fine. So he'll take 3. And then we have Active Treason next turn. And if he attacks us with the Boar, we can take Vengeance it and Active Treason. Okay. Vinemare. Okay. All these Vinemare decks, man. Vinemare seems like a pretty strong card. Right, hexproof until it deals damage. And it has vigilance, so it won't ever tap, so we can't take vengeance it. So ideally what he does on his turn, he attacks with these two. But I think he's just going to keep attacking us with the Palladium Moors. So I think we just wait here. If he's smart, he'll attack with the Bristling Boar. We can take vengeance and on the boar and kill him with his own Palladium Moors. But no, he's just gonna... I guess he has no reason to do that. Yeah, he doesn't want us to get the flyer with the Dragon Egg, because that would definitely be lethal. Herald of Faith. Okay. Gallant Cavalry. The issue is that we're just dead on the air to these two. We can active treason this, go up to 10, and then Gallant Cavalry and take vengeance it. And he can hit us 4. I think that's our only so we'll go up to 10 here. It's not going to block, so we have to take vengeance on this Herald of Faith. What a dumb card. Yeah, I mean, I could have... It wouldn't have killed him, though. He had too many blockers on the ground. There's no point in active treason or whatever. Yeah, active treason. No point in active treasoning the Palladium Moors if it's not going to kill him, because we'll never get a creature through on the ground, is the issue. Because he's not attacking with the Bristling Boar and the Vine Mare. Strangling Spores is pretty good. So we'll play out the Gallant Cavalry. And if he only attacks with the Palladium Moors, we can Strangling Spores it. This card is dumb. So we'll go to 1 here. This is where something like Banefire would be sweet. Just Banefire him for 5. That would be awesome. Brawl Bash Ogre, not going to get us there. Well, that game looked good. Until Palladium Moors decided to show up. Once again, he has the Vine Mare, so we're going to do the regular, take out the Manolith, We're going to put in the detection tower. That was a little bit frustrating. We could have put him to 3 and then nothing would have changed because the Herald of Faith would have gained him more life. If only Palladium Wars didn't have every keyword in the game. You know, if it didn't have Vigilance, we could have just taken Vengeance it. There were a lot of things that we could have done that game had we drawn them. Even the Brawlbash Ogre, if we had drawn it earlier, we could have sacrificed our egg and then had a flyer of our own. And the egg plus Palladium Wars would have been lethal. Angel of the Dawn would have been good as a blocker. It would have given all of our stuff vigilance, so we could trade up with the boar and the stupid Vine Mare. Yeah, we had a lot of good draws. We just didn't see any of them, unfortunately. But that's why there are games 2 and 3. And now we have an answer to the Vine Mare, sort of. I use the term answer loosely. We have a way to I don't think I keep this. We'll never be able to cast these 2 red cards, and we want to have Sarkhan as soon as possible if we're going to play him. So I think I'm going to mulligan that, and then immediately get a 1-lander. So we're going to have to mulligan this one as well. Yep, mulligan down to 5 on the play. I guess we're going to have to go with this. Treason. I accidentally put it on the top. I meant to put it on the bottom, but it doesn't make much of a difference at this point. Once you mulligan to 5, your chances to win go down drastically. Like, mulliganing to 6 is fine, but mulliganing to 5 is pretty much a death sentence. Druid. Swamp. So if we draw land next turn, we have the Brawlbash Ogre. Vine Mare. Great. Well, we have the Ogre, and we have the Detection Tower. So we have a way to deal with his Vine Mare. If we draw a land next turn, we can Act of Treason. Well, first we can knock the Hexproof off this, Act of Treason the Vine Mare, sacrifice it to the Brawlbash Ogre. Angel of the Dawn seems strong. So land this turn is what we're looking for. And we got it. Undo. We want to do this. If you thought the play a couple games ago was sweet, check this one out. Getting rid of the Vine Mare by Act of Treasoning it and sacking it to our Brawlbash Ogre. Yes, I would like to use the ability. I think I'll sacrifice that guy. This is all a bit moot, of course, because as soon as he plays the Palladium Moors, we're just dead. It's gonna get him for 4. Play Bristling Boar. And the Apparatus. Gallant Cavalry is pretty nice. Not bad, not bad. He can kill half of it with the Explosive Apparatus. I think we have to keep the pressure on him here because he'll just he'll just kill us in the air with this, and our Pegasus Courser can only survive 1 turn. What we got to be able to do is set up the Pegasus Courser to give this thing flying. Then we have 6 damage, so 9. So we have to hit him 1 more turn with this. So that's 7. He can put us to 1. So I think we got a block there. And we can get that back with the Gravedigger. And we'll see if he takes that 2 damage from the Knight. That might be important. No, we're not going to use his ability this time. He might think that we have something like a Skeleton Archer, which if we did it would be awesome here. So the Gravedigger, get that back. Alright, so if he attacks with both of his creatures, he won't have a way to stop this, and we can sacrifice 5 creatures to it. I think that's how that works. I might be mistaken. I don't think I'm mistaken, though. I think I can sacrifice more than 1 creature. Herald of Faith. Okay. Herald and Kumar of Faith. Planes. Cool. So I can play both of my things. No, I can almost play both of my things. That sucks because I need a flying blocker. So I have to play the Pegasus Courser here. Yes, I'll sacrifice my Diagraph Ghoul. So he's trading the boar for our guy. We will kill the boar. Pass turn. Licks Caress would be really nice here. Strangling Spores would also be really nice. Licks Caress is about the perfect draw we could get here. Oh, and then he just kills us with this. Okay. So we're just dead here. We'll see if he sees it. Yeah, looks like he sees it. So that wasn't bad for going to 5 cards, but like I said, 5 cards put you at a serious disadvantage. So we're going to try and win the next 2. Was a little bit unlucky we had to mulligan both those games. It's just the Banefire, man. All we need is a Banefire. If I had $1 for every time all I needed was a Banefire, I'd be a rich man. Thank you for tuning in and watching me this evening. We're gonna play our last 2 rounds in this 3rd leg of our Sealed League. 7 wins is out of the question at this point, but 6 gives you enough to play another round of Sealed, plus a couple points, usually a couple play points. So that's what our goal is with this one. Our goal is always to get the entrance fee and then some. I think this is fine. We can cast all the spells in our hand reasonably. And our opponent mulligan to 6. And he chooses to play first. So we'll see how aggressive his deck is. No turn 1 play, so he can't be too aggressive. He doesn't have like a Novice Knight or anything. Pegasus Courser is fine. Just hoping to not see green over there on his side. The Rustwing Falcon. There it is. And no second land. Okay. Unfortunately, our hand is not really set up to deal with or to apply a lot of pressure. We can as the game goes on. Like if he doesn't find a second land for a long time, I mean, we'll just be able to run him over past like turn 4, but yeah, still no second land. All we're drawing is swamps. Plains would have been good there. There he goes. Now he's drawing a second land. So we might have a game on our hands. There's the Sarkin that we can't cast. Let's play out the Archer. Ping you for 1. Alright, he drew a 3rd land. Militia Bugler. Nice, so we'll see what he gets with that. He misses. Gets in with the Rust Wing. Plains would be nice. Mountain would be nice. Mountain, great. Let's play our Sarkin. I think we're going to discard the swamp here, looking for plains. Another Pegasus Courser. Not exactly what we want. I think we're going to keep our Skeleton Archer back on defense. We're fine with our Sarkin taking one from the Rust Wing every turn. That'll just sort of keep it at bay, but we don't want him getting hit for 3 by the Bugler. Sarkin's also going to be soaking up damage from us, so that's good. While we try and draw our plains. Once again, I think I'm going to discard the swamp for the plains. There we go. Play out our Pegasus Courser. And now we have defense for our Sarkin, so he can just keep ticking up every turn. Leonin Vanguard. You control 3 or more creatures. It gets +1/+1, and you gain a life. Alright. Izareth is nice. We can play Izareth and our other Pegasus Courser. I think we're going to discard this Inferno Hellion. Alright. We're not going to attack at all. Just going to leave our creatures back on defense. Next turn, I think we're either going to play the, depending on what we draw, we'll play the, so he's probably going to give the Rust Wing +2/+, yep, and attack our Sarkin. That's fine. Yep. Okay, so Sarkin's going to be at 2. Draw is take Vengeance. I don't think we want to take Vengeance to Rust Wing. We don't want to really want to be discarding either. So we'll just plus him. No, we won't discard a card. And we'll play out the Cavalry. And I think at this point it's safe to attack with the Archer. We have a lot of ground defense. He's not going to block. Sure. And then next turn we can play the Angel of Dawn. Even Wind Mage. Okay. He's got quite the flying offense over there. Alright. Shock is interesting. I think what we're going to do is we're going to shock the Wind Mage when he can't pump it. And play our... First, what we're going to... Nope, I do not want to concede. First, what we're going to do is plus this. And then we're going to play our Angel. And give everything +1/+1 in Vigilance. And then now there's no reason to attack, not attack with everything. Attack with all creatures. Now the question is what we want to give flying. I guess we'll give This flying and our skeleton archer flying represents the most damage. And get in there with our team. So if he doesn't block, this is 18 damage, so 1 short of lethal. So he's gonna have to do some chump blocking somewhere. Sure. Okay. Okay. Alright, so he's just gonna basically sacrifice his whole board and go to 11. And then next turn we have 3. Alright, he concedes. He's stuck on 3 lands. Sometimes you just get unlucky. And so he's playing blue-white, so we should make sure to watch out for like counter spells and all that sort of stuff. This hand is not going to get there. It's too many lands, unfortunately. So we're going to have to mulligan. This hand's great. It's got a dragon egg and a giant that we can play. And he's on the play, so we'll be on the draw. Sarkin is what we want. We'll probably play that. Play that on turn 3 and start plussing him. Unless if he's holding up mana for cancel on turn 3, I think we'll play the dragon egg. Otherwise, we'll play Sarkin. So we'll see if he has a play here. Surge Mare, that's pretty good. Another mountain. Alright, so we'll see if he taps out here. We're going to throw down the Sarkin. He's attacking, so he's obviously going to switch this. Yep. Draw the card. So he doesn't have a counter spell at this point. So Sarkin is coming down. Second main phase, we will plus him. I don't think we want to discard anything, and we'll pass turn. I think we want these lands. We want to be able to play, next turn we can go Izareth and Dragon Egg, assuming our Sarkin lives. He might double pump this Surge Mare to kill our Sarkin. And it looks like that is what he's going to do. Shock comes a little bit too late, but that's fine. So I think here we're just going to play the Izareth and leave up Shock for anything he might play. Wow, he's attacking here. Block. He's going to try and pump it twice. It's not going to go the way he wants it to. Yep. Not going to go the way he wants it to. Interesting Surge Mare tactics. He has a Vanguard. Here we're just going to go Dragon Egg and Diregraph Ghoul, I think. Unfortunately, Izareth can't get back Sarkin because he's not a creature. That would be awesome though. We will attack him with Izareth. And with Izareth out and the Dragon Egg, we can sort of get 2 dragons for the price of 1. If he kills our Dragon Egg, we can get it back with Izareth. Pegasus Courser is fine. Yes, Mystic Archaeologist. Okay. So it'd be nice if we had like a Skeleton Archer here. With the Skeleton Archer we could ping the Archaeologist because he's going to use it to just like keep drawing cards at a ridiculous rate. I think we're just going to try and kill him before he can beat us with card advantage from drawing off the Archaeologist. Plains for Angel of the Dawn would be nice next turn. That would make him sacrifice a lot of his board because it would just be lethal otherwise. He can draw 2 cards with the Archaeologist here and go down to 1 mana. Bugler. Okay, so he's not going to be drawing with the Archaeologist. I think if we don't draw planes, we just make it so the Bugler can't block. That way we can get in with our other creatures. Finds a Drill Master. Daybreak Chaplain. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Plains. Great. Angel. Seven, 8, 9, 10, 14. So he has to block at least some of this, and he has no profitable blocks. Okay, okay. So I'll deal 6 to you and Cavalry Drill Master, that's fine. Targeting itself. Interesting. Now he has no good attacks. Personally, I would have targeted either the Vanguard or the Courser. Probably the Vanguard. Yeah, and our opponent just scoops. Which might have been a bad idea because we weren't going to draw anything for a while. And then we had a little bit of gas later on. Alright, so we'll go to the final match. At this point we've won 5, so at the very least we're getting 100 play points. And we won 40 earlier. And we won 20 the time before that, so we'd be at 160 and then we would get another 20, so that's 180. So reasonably close to our entry fee. So we're feeling good. Win this, get the whole entry fee back, or lose this and get, 3/4 of it back. I think this deck ended up pretty sweet when it works. When you can get the active treason and the brawl bash ogre and all that sort of stuff going to start sacrificing your opponent's creatures, I think it's very strong. I think active treason by itself is a card that can win games out of nowhere, and I think Angel of the Dawn is a great card. Yes, we would like to play first. This is fine. We'll keep this. We have Izareth turn 2. If we draw another mountain, we have Sarkhan turn 3. And then by Izareth turn 2, I mean Izareth turn 3. Swamp. Mountain. This way, if we draw a mountain next turn, we can play Sarkhan. If not, we can just play the swamp and play the Izareth. If he leaves up 2 mana here, I don't think we want to play the Izareth because it's possible he has an Essence Scatter. Yeah, it's possible he's holding an Essence Scatter, so I don't think we want to play the Izareth. I think we want to pass. Wait for him to tap out and then play the Essence Scatter. Plus, it's not like the cards in our hand are getting any worse as it goes by. The more cards we have, the better. Sky Scanner is fine. Gets him a card, but it's basically useless on its own. Looks like our opponent's a very slow blue-white control-ish deck, so it wouldn't surprise me if he has something like Essence Scatter. And we did not want our Izareth to get Essence Scattered, because our board would look a lot worse. We'd probably have like an Inferno Hellion against a Sky Scanner. He's attacking. Means he's not interested in chump blocking. Star Crown Stag. Sure. Skeleton Archer will kill his Sky Scanner. And then if he wants to trade the Stag for the Izareth, I'm fine with that. Because I do have a Gravedigger and ways to get Izareth back. He does not want to trade. Maybe he's not as controlly of a deck as we thought, because he's going to get in for 3 here, and then we're going to hit him for 6 on the crackback. Knightly Valor. Sure. So I think here what we want to do is play our Inferno Hellion. So whichever one of these he taps down, we just block with the other one. Sleep. That's pretty good. Sleep is interesting. So we're basically going to be taking a turn off here. Skymarch Bloodletter is pretty good here. It saves us a turn. It can block the 2/2. And it also sets us up for lethal just with active treasoning the stag. So as long as he doesn't have another thing to just tap our entire team down, we'll win next turn with this active treason. Unless he counters it or has something. If he just plays another creature, we'll still win. Okay. So we're going to go to 1 here. And we'll see what he does. I don't think he'll have any way to ping us for 1 or anything. Shield Artificer. That's fine. Alright, and another mount. So we can active treason here, steal his Starcrown Stag, tap down the Aether Shield, and he'll get hit for 2. 2, 9, 15. I wish we had 1 more mana. We could Strangling Spores and kill this. Then definitely get in there. Looks like we might be 1 off lethal. Three, 6, 13, 15. Yeah. It looks like we're going to be 1 off. Damn it. If we just had 1 more mana for Strangling Spores. We could have killed his token and... Unfortunate. Well, if only that Pegasus Courser were another land. That was a really close game. We were dead on the swing back because he gets the stag back when my turn ends. He gets the stag back, so it would just have vigilance. And, I mean, he would be able to hit us with it. If we draw another mountain, this hand can be good. And I mean, even if we like left some of our creatures back, Starcrown Stag just like makes it so they can't block regardless. He taps them down at the beginning of combat when he attacks. So I think our only option there was the Strangling Spores play and then active treason, but we were one land short of doing that. So our opponent's not playing anything. He might be holding up an Essence Scatter, or if he has nothing to Essence Scatter, he might just like drain us for 1, which is probably what he's gonna do. Yep. Yeah, the Star Crown Stag was active treason, so best we could do is put him to 1. Electrify that before it gets out of control. That's pretty good. So I think it's pretty safe to play Sarkhan here. We'll +1, and we will discard. We'll discard the Inferno Hellion. Pegasus Courser, that's fine. So if we draw a land here, we can plus Sarkhan to play the dragon and kill that thing. So any land here will work for us. That's not a land. So the question now is, what do we play here? This really needed to be a land, so we could play the Spark Tongue and kill the Sky Scanner. Because now this is just a bad position for us. Our Sarkhan's gonna die regardless of what we do. I guess we just play out the Spark Tongue because it's the best mana play. I don't really want to trade my Spark Tongue for the Sky Scanner. That seems like a bad trade for me. So I think next turn I might just play the Angel of Dawn, especially if he sends both of these things at Sarkhan. I think I'll just block the Knight probably and let Sarkhan die to the Sky Scanner. Archer. Okay, so he's killing our Spark Tongue. That's fine. Mountain. Yeah, this is not going well for us. We really needed that. The stupid Pegasus Courser to be a, or the Isra to be a land. Because right now the board would be Skeleton Archer versus Angel of Dawn. And I still would have Sarkin. Strangling Spores comes back to haunt us from last game. We'll just kill this, I guess. I mean, this game's essentially over. We just got tempoed out too hard. And we're just getting pinged every turn. Block here. My turn. Plains again. Angel of Dawn. Might as well get in for 2 while we can. If we ever draw a second swamp, we can play our Izareth and start getting things back from our graveyard, assuming this Neonate doesn't kill us by then. Lix Caress would be really good here. I think we'll just trade the Archer for the Angel, and the horses will just sit there and stare at each other, like horses are wont to do. What's he got? Lix Caress for that. Sure. Alright. So we're going to be put down to 3 here. Well, at the end of our turn, we're going to be put down to 3. Alright, so there's our second swamp. So I think what we want to do this turn is when we attack with the Izareth, we want to get back the Spark Tongue and kill the Skeleton Archer. Then we need to find some way to gain some life. We'll be at 2. We'll see what he plays. Cool. Attack with the Izareth. Yes. We will get back Spark Tongue. I Actually, I think what we can do is kill the neonate, but he'll just ping and then we'll be dead to the courser. I think we have to kill this. And then find a way to trade for the kill the neonate. Well, no, because the neonate just pings us at the end of our turn and then pings us again on his turn. Yep. Good game. That kind of sucks. So we got 120 play points total. Which means we have, I believe, enough play points. Yeah, more than enough play points to do another Sealed League tomorrow. Alright. So that was kind of a disappointing ending. I feel like we should have won. Those last two matches. We got a little bit unlucky, but you know, Magic is a game. Not saying I played perfectly or anything. I'm sure I made tons of mistakes, but Magic is a game where you can play perfectly and still lose. Again, not saying that I played perfectly. I'm sure there were a bunch of other better lines I could have made. But just something to think about. It's a game with a lot of variance, and sometimes bad things just happen to you. You get your opponent down to one life and can't finish them off. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me this evening for the conclusion of my second Sealed League in M19. I appreciate all the support. Follow me on Twitter, subscribe to my YouTube, and check out my partner channel, Derailed. They've got a great podcast they release all throughout the week, cover movies, Magic, video games, and news about those things and about the world in general. Thanks everybody, and I will be logging off now.